Welcome back. In this video, I am going to explain internal field in the liquid and solid dielectrics. So now we know that once the dielectric material undergo dielectric polarization, so each atom acts as an electric dipole and possesses electric dipole moment. In that case, the electric field acting on one particular atom is not just the applied electric field, but it is the electric field that is produced due to surrounding dipole. Thus, the resultant sum of the applied electric field plus electric field due to surrounding dipole is called internal field. Internal field is the local field acting at the site of the given atom in the dielectric material which has undergone dielectric polarization. It is the resultant of applied electric field plus field due to surrounding dipole. It's a local field, okay, local electric field acting on one particular atom there, okay. So this electric field is called internal field, okay. So now in case of one-dimensional array of atoms, consider one-dimensional array of atom of dielectric material which has undergone dielectric polarization. So each atom possesses electric dipole moment mu there. Okay, now we shall calculate distance between the two atoms is d there. Applied electric field is E there. Okay, so now we can calculate electric field that is acting on atom X due to surrounding dipole there. Okay, now what you have to do, calculate electric field at X due to A1, then add it to electric field at X due to A2, electric field at X due to A1 and A2, similarly B1 and B2, similarly C1 and C2. You take the sum of all these things there, then you will come to know electric field at X due to surrounding dipole. Then you can calculate internal field. What is internal field? Applied electric field plus electric field due to surrounding dipole there. Okay, so this is a local electric field acting at the site of the given atom inside the dielectric material which has undergone dielectric polarization. We are not going to consider the derivation there. We shall consider only formulas in case of one dimension, three dimension, and in case of Lorentz field there. For one-dimensional linear array of atoms like this there. Okay, so now internal field EI, symbol is EI. EI is given by E, that means applied electric field, divided by 1 minus some quantity is there, 1.2 alpha E divided by pi epsilon d cube there. What is alpha E here? Alpha E here, the electronic polarizability. What is D here? D is the distance of separation between the two atoms there. Okay, so now 1 minus some quantity is there. So this quantity is a small positive quantity there. 1 minus some positive quantity, that means less than 1. If I take it to the left hand side, that means if I multiply EI by a quantity which is less than 1, so then it will become E, that means applied electric field there. Okay, so that means internal field EI is greater than applied electric field. So that means once the dielectric material undergo dielectric polarization, the electric field that is acting on one particular atom is not just E, it is greater than E. What is that E? Internal field. Okay, what is internal field? Internal field is a local field, local electric field acting at the site of the given atom, and it is the resultant of applied electric field plus electric field due to surrounding dipole there. I think you have understood about the internal field in one-dimensional array of atoms. This formula is important there, they will ask. So next is in case of three dimension, okay, the formula modifies to EI, internal field is equal to E, applied electric field, gamma upon epsilon naught. What is gamma here? Internal field constant into P. What is P here? So polarization. Polarization is a vector. What is polarization? Induced electric dipole moment per unit volume of the dielectric is called polarization there. Okay, this is another formula to be remembered there. So in case of cubic crystal, cubic lattice, the material is of cubic nature, cubic lattice there, then gamma is equal to 1 by 3. Internal field constant gamma will become 1 by 3 only in case of cubic crystal. Okay, in that case the internal field is called Lorentz field there. That means E Lorentz is equal to E plus, now gamma is equal to 1 by 3 there, so that means 1 upon 3 epsilon into P there. Okay, this is called Lorentz field. So these three formulas are important there. We are making use of this formula for derivation of Clausius-Mosotty equation there. Okay, so now we shall move on to Clausius-Mosotty equation. Okay, so now consider elemental dielectric material whose dielectric constant is equal to epsilon r. Okay, so let us make some assumption there. Let n be the number of atoms per unit volume in the dielectric material. Mu is the atomic dipole moment on each atom. That means the atomic dipole moment possessed by each atomic dipole there, mu there. Okay, now if I multiply n into n by mu, what will happen? N mu. What is n mu there? The dipole moment per unit volume. N is the number of atoms per unit volume. Multiply by So atomic dipole moment on each atom. So that gives the dipole moment per unit volume, n into mu there. Take it as equation number 1. Now we shall substitute for mu. What is mu there? Okay, so now what is mu? Mu is equal to alpha E. Okay, mu is nothing but what? Atomic dipole moment. So is proportional to applied electric field, proportionally constant, what you call alpha, polarizability. What is that? Polarizability. So mu is equal to alpha E. You have come across in the previous equation also there. So you can modify now. What actually acting inside the dielectric material, it is not the just electric field, it is the internal field EI. What is alpha here? Alpha E, electronic polarizability there. Okay, so now the equation get modified now. I can substitute in this equation number 1, mu is equal to alpha E into EI. So if I substitute, equation becomes now, what will happen? So dipole moment per unit volume, equation get modified to dipole moment per unit volume is equal to N alpha E into EI. Okay, so what is the left hand side? Dipole moment per unit volume. Just now I told the induced dipole moment per unit volume is called polarization. Okay, that means left hand side is nothing but polarization. P is equal to N alpha E into EI. Now from this have an expression for EI. What is EI? EI is equal to P upon N alpha E. Okay, I got expression number 2. I got an expression for EI, internal field there. Now also we have P is equal to epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1 E. It's a popular equation there. So what is P here? Polarization. So permittivity of free space, dielectric constant, relative permittivity or dielectric constant into applied electric field. From this equation you have an expression for E. What is E here? P upon epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1. This is equation number 3. Now in the previous equation I showed, okay, what is that? So the internal field in case of three-dimensional solid. So we have expression for internal field in case of three-dimensional material, three-dimensional array of atoms there. What will become? EI is equal to E plus gamma into P upon epsilon naught. Now I can substitute for EI and E from the previous equation there. Substituting for EI and E, I will get P upon N alpha E is equal to P upon epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1 plus gamma P upon epsilon naught. Okay. Now considering, so this gamma is nothing but 1 by 3 in case of cubic lattice, that is, in that case internal field is called what? Lagrange field there. Okay, considering internal field to be Lagrange field, that means gamma is equal to 1 by 3. So that means the crystal is cubic crystal or cubic lattice there. Okay, in that case, so P upon N alpha E is equal to P upon epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1 plus P upon gamma is equal to 1 by 3 now here, P upon 3 epsilon. In all the equation P are there, you can cancel it. So we can become what? 1 upon N alpha is equal to 1 upon epsilon naught epsilon r minus 1 plus 1 upon 3 epsilon. Okay, so remaining part is just rearranging the equation there, which is constant here. Epsilon naught is constant. Okay, in the right hand side, take 1 upon epsilon naught constant. In the denominator, epsilon naught is constant there. 1 upon epsilon naught, take it outside. So what remains there? 1 upon epsilon r minus 1 plus 1 upon 3. You cross multiply. So 3 plus epsilon r minus 1 divided by 3 into epsilon r minus 1. So this 3 also can be taken outside. Okay, what remains in numerator? 3 plus epsilon r minus 1. What will become? Epsilon r plus 2 there. Okay, epsilon r plus 2 divided by epsilon r minus 1. 3 have taken outside. Outside what remains? 1 upon 3 epsilon. Okay, you take this 3 epsilon to the right hand side. Sorry, left hand side. What will become? 3 epsilon naught N alpha E is equal to epsilon r plus 2 divided by epsilon r minus 1. I got Clausius-Maussel equation, but it is not in the standard form. You reverse it. Epsilon r minus 1 divided by epsilon r plus 2 is equal to N alpha E divided by 3 epsilon naught. So this equation is called Clausius-Maussel equation there. Okay. So different different types of insulating materials are available there. So this dielectrics are also used as an insulating material for electrical application. Okay, different types of materials are available there. So give some examples and where it is being used there. Let us explain. So solid insulating material. So variety of solid insulating materials are available. It can be organic or inorganic there. For example, mica, porcelain, glass, plastic. These are all inorganic insulating material or dielectric material. Cloth, vegetable oil, paper, it's all organic dielectric material or insulating material there. Okay, so you know that paper is hygroscopic. It will get wet once it is put in water there. So to overcome this, what they will do is this paper will be coated with the mineral oil or vegetable oil. What is mineral oil? Mineral oil is the oil which does not possess the fatty acids there, vegetable oil. Okay, so mineral oil or vegetable oil will be used to coat the paper become less wet when you use it in the capacitor there. Okay, so now liquid used in the liquid dielectric material used in the transformers, switches, and circuit breakers. For example, transformer oil, silicon fluids, and viscous Vaseline is used as a liquid dielectric material for electrical applications such as transformer oil, switches, and circuit breakers there. So this transformer oil is used to dissipate the heat generated in the transformer. At the same time, transformer oil can withstand high temperature there. Okay, so gaseous dielectric materials are example are air, nitrogen, inert gases, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. Okay, so for example, air is a natural insulation in electrical circuits and in transmission line, in between the line. Okay, so air will be there, it acts as a insulator there. Okay, naturally, even though you are not naturally it is provided with insulation there. Okay, what are the application of the transformer? So transformer you studied in electrical science there. Transformer is nothing but two insulating windings will be there, primary winding and secondary winding. Okay, insulated from each other, and there will be insulation between the winding and the core also, because it is wound on the core there. Okay, so proper insulation must be there. For low voltage application, this much is sufficient, insulation is sufficient there, but for high voltage application there, thousands of volt. Okay, so extra insulation must be given there. So for that they use the paper, mica, or cloth. If they use the paper in particular, what will happen there? So this in between the paper, air gap will be there. Okay, so this air gap, what will happen? So under high voltage application, that means the transformer is operated at high voltage, thousands of volts. What will happen there? So the air, because it has got the permittivity less there. Okay, so it will get ionized once and apply high voltage there. Okay, so that's why once it get ionized, it will become a conductor and it will generate large amount of heat there. As a result, it will damage the insulation and hence it will damage the transformer. Okay, this effect is called corona effect there. Okay, air will become get ionized. Air will get ionized under high voltage condition there. Okay, this effect is called corona effect. To overcome this corona effect, the paper will be used. Okay, sorry, mica will be used. Okay, so now this mica used to guard the transformer from corona effect there. Still high voltage application, for example 3 kilovolt or something like that. Okay, so this transformer oil are used. Okay, what is transformer oil? Transformer is a mineral oil, so like a silicon oil or some other type of oils there. So where it can withstand high temperature and it can easily flush out the heat generated in the primary and secondary and keep the transformer cool. Okay, at the same time it will provide an insulation there. Okay, both the purpose will be served. Okay, so transformer oils are used, and sometimes this transformer will be immersed in oil, what you call oil immersed transformer for high voltage application. So this transformer oil provide insulation up to 100 kilovolt, not 1000 kilovolt, it is 100 kilovolt. It will give the protection to the transformer. These are the application of the dielectrics in transformer there. Okay.